The anime begins at a busy train station when a passenger suddenly bursts into flames inside one of the train cars. Special Fire Force Company 8, a unique team made up of people with fire-controlling powers, is called to handle the situation. Their job is to put Infernals to rest. These Infernals are people who have turned into fire monsters, often against their will. During each mission, the team offers a prayer for the person's soul before destroying the Infernal. A young man named Shinra Kyusuke, known as Devil's Footprints because of his ability to set his feet on fire and move quickly, arrives just in time to save a fellow firefighter named Iris from falling debris. He introduces himself as the newest member of Company 8. Soon after, Shinra goes on his first mission, which involves stopping a woman who has turned into an Infernal. During the fight, he remembers a tragic event from his childhood, a fire that killed his mother and younger brother. People blamed him for the fire, which caused others to fear and avoid him. This painful past fuels his dream of becoming a hero who protects others. He defeats the Infernal, and together with the team, they honor the woman's memory. Outside, her grieving husband thanks Shinra for ending her suffering. Later, Shinra learns about the upcoming Rookie Fire Soldier Games, where he and another new recruit, Arthur Boyle, will represent Company 8. Shinra already knows Arthur from the academy and finds him irritating because Arthur sees himself as some kind of king. Before the games, Lieutenant Hinawa has Maki test their skills. Even though both boys are confident in their powers as third-generation pyrokinetics, Maki easily overpowers them using her strength and ability to control flames. Suddenly, the team gets an emergency call about another Infernal in a house in the Iria district. When they get there, Arthur and Shinra both draw their weapons, which upsets Captain Obi. He reminds them that they must earn the public's trust, and pulling out weapons without warning can scare people. Unlike other Infernals they've faced, this one isn't attacking. He's sitting quietly at a table, trying not to hurt his daughter. Captain Obi finds a family photo and realizes the Infernal is trying to stay calm for her sake. The team offers a prayer before Arthur gently puts the man to rest. Obi comforts the daughter afterward, and both Shinra and Arthur gain a deeper understanding of the emotional weight that comes with being a firefighter in this world. At the Rookie Fire Soldier Games, Shinra spots Leonard Burns, the captain of Company 1. He remembers Burns as the man who held his hand when his house burned down 12 years ago, but Burns claims he doesn't remember the event, which makes Shinra suspicious. The game challenges the rookies to navigate a building full of traps and reach a team member acting as an Infernal. Using his flame-powered speed, Shinra makes it to the top, only to find someone has already taken out the target. A mysterious man appears and tells Shinra he has information about the fire from his past. They fight, and the man defeats Shinra using exploding ash. Before leaving, he reveals shocking news. Shinra's younger brother, Sho, is still alive. He asks Shinra to join him and learn the truth about the fire force. When Arthur and Tamaki, a firefighter from Company 1, show up, the man introduces himself as Joker and makes a final offer to Shinra to join him. Later, Shinra talks to Captain Obi, asking questions about the fire force. Obi explains that the fire force depends on a powerful company called Hajime for gear and supplies. Each fire force company works independently, and they rarely share information. Company 8 was created to keep an eye on the other companies and investigate anything suspicious. At Company 8, the team analyzes the strange ash that Joker used and discovers it's made from the remains of Infernals. These ashes come from people who had transformed into fire monsters, which makes them extremely dangerous and unusual. While the team thinks about the meaning behind this, Maki sends Shinra and Arthur on a lighter mission to rescue a dog stuck in a tree. When they arrive, they realize it's Mamoru, one of their mascots. Mamoru explains that local kids had thrown him up there for fun. He also tells them that ever since firefighter Setsuo Miyamoto went on a killing spree and murdered 4 people, the public has started to distrust the fire force. Later that day, Miyamoto is found not guilty in court, which upsets many people. Just after the trial, he suddenly bursts into flames and becomes an Infernal. He takes his lawyer hostage and begins a rampage through the city. Company 8 is called in to stop him. Shinra and Arthur rush to the courthouse ahead of the others and confront Miyamoto. They quickly realize that he is different from most Infernals. He is fully aware of what he's doing and is acting with a clear purpose. When he escapes, Shinra is sent to chase him. At the same time, Princess Hibana and her team from Company 5 have been secretly watching. They want to capture Miyamoto for themselves so they can study his strange behavior. When Company 8 arrives, it leads to a tense standoff over who has the right to handle the situation. Hibana agrees to share any information they find during their research. Captain Obi, though suspicious of her, agrees and lets them take Miyamoto. Later on, Shinra finds Iris praying in the chapel. She seems upset, but when he asks if she's okay, she denies anything is wrong. During a training session, Captain Obi warns the rookies about second-generation pyrokinetics. These people can't start fires but can control them, which makes them especially dangerous. Obi also reveals that Company 8 will soon confront Company 5 to get more information about the Infernals. In an effort to calm things down, Iris visits Princess Hibana. But Hibana has her own plan and uses Iris as bait to lure Company 8 into a trap. Shinra arrives and challenges Hibana directly. Soon after, Hinawa, Maki, and Arthur show up to support him. The team faces strong resistance. Toru Kishiri attacks them with explosive bubble gum, but Hinawa takes him down using bullets that bounce around the room. Meanwhile, Akidaru and Maki are attacked by the Angels 3, a group of almost identical female fighters. Arthur ends up fighting Conehead, who is using the captured Infernal, now chemically enhanced. Arthur struggles at first because he is holding his sword Excalibur in his left hand. Once he switches to his right, he quickly defeats the Infernal. Slowly, Company 8 begins to win the battle. Shinra makes his way inside to rescue Iris and confront Hibana. Inside, Hibana reminds Iris of their time together in the orphanage. They were both nuns. Hibana used to entertain the other children by making fire flowers. One day she promised Iris she would show her something beautiful using her powers. But everything changed when a fire broke out and turned all the other nuns into infernals. That horrifying experience caused Hibana to lose her faith and begin viewing fire only as something cruel and destructive. Shinra steps in to stop her, but Hibana uses her special power to lower his blood pressure, which weakens him. She traps him in a vision of falling, flaming sakura petals that burn as they fall. Even though he's badly hurt, Shinra refuses to give up. His strong will and desire to be a hero help him push through her attacks. He eventually lands a powerful kick to her head, knocking her out. While unconscious, Hibana remembers her past. She recalls how she partnered with Hajime Industries so she could become a captain and continue her scientific experiments. When she wakes up, Shinra tells her he can be the hero she once believed in. The moment touches her, and even though she tries to act like she doesn't care, she starts to fall for him. She promises not to stand in his way anymore. As a final gesture, Hibana fulfills her old promise to Iris. She creates a display of beautiful fire flowers in the shape of irises, bringing back the beauty she once saw in her powers. At the Special Fire Grand Cathedral 1, Captain Leonard Burns of Company 1 gathers his lieutenants Hugh Yan Lee, Rekka Hashimiya, and Flam Karim. He suspects that Captain Akidaru of Company 8 is beginning to make his move. Meanwhile, following a joint exercise with Companies 5 and 8, the squads come together for a celebratory barbecue. During the gathering, Hibana spoils Shinra with food and care while making her own squad admit defeat and recognize Company 8's strength. Later, Hibana speaks privately with Akidaru. She shares that her defeat by Shinra helped her reflect on her past actions and regain a sense of what it means to be a hero. She assures him that Company 5 now fully supports Company 8. Hibana also reports that someone has been creating infernals in the Shinjuku district, which falls under Company 1's area. Both captains agree to investigate the incidents together. To follow up on this lead, Akidaru uses the rookie reassignment program to embed Shinra and Arthur in Company 1, where they are joined by Maki Oz and Takeru Noto from Company 2. When they arrive, Shinra asks to spar with Captain Burns and he agrees. Takeru first goes up against Rekka, while Karim uses his sound-based ice powers to put out stray fireballs during the match. After Lee and Karim step back from the sparring, Burns personally faces both Shinra and Arthur. He effortlessly defeats Arthur and deflects Shinra's strongest attacks. Following their loss, the two rookies are placed under Lieutenant Karim's supervision. Before leaving, Burns tells Shinra he still has a long road ahead if he wants to become a true hero. Back at Company 8, Akidaru reviews Hibana's research, which suggests that the transformation into an infernal is being caused by some kind of insect that targets the human soul. Meanwhile, life in Company 1 continues as usual until an infernal alert is triggered and the squad mobilizes. Shinra and Arthur are told to stay back, but they witness someone using an insect to deliberately turn a person into an infernal. They chase after the suspect and end up crossing paths with Rekka and Karim in a dark corridor. Shinra and Arthur investigate Karim's room and discover a vial containing one of the insects. Karim insists he left it there on purpose to lure out the real traitor. Suspicion then falls on Rekka. Elsewhere, Rekka convinces Tamaki to gather a group of children, promising to protect them from becoming infernals. Once Tamaki is close, he knocks her out and uses an insect to turn the children's caretaker into an infernal. When she is not compatible, he kills her. Tamaki regains consciousness and, heartbroken, confronts Rekka, saying she once looked up to him. Rekka admits that he has been following orders from someone known as the Evangelist. His mission is to find people with a natural ability for pyrokinesis to serve as the pilot light for something greater. He infects a boy who catches fire but then manages to put out the flames himself. Rekka declares the child a match. Tamaki tries to stop him but is badly beat. Before Rekka can kill her, she manages to send a flare signal, and just in time, Shinra crashes down from above, landing a fiery kick to Rekka's face. He asks Tamaki if she's alright and she breaks down in tears. Rekka survives the attack and fights back while Tamaki protects the children. The battle is intense, with both fighters using all their abilities. Shinra relies on his speed and movement to land another solid blow, while Tamaki's clothing is burned away as she keeps the kids out of harm's way. Shinra pushes his body to the limit, nearly passing out from lack of oxygen. Even so, he leaves Rekka seriously injured. As Rekka lies on the ground, he admits that he has been creating infernals in search of children with hidden powers, possibly just like Shinra's missing brother. He reveals that the Evangelist's goal is to engulf the earth in fire, leading to the birth of a second son. Rekka prepares to unleash another massive fire attack, but Karim appears and freezes him in solid ice. Before Rekka can be questioned any further, two mysterious figures in white cloaks appear and shoot him dead from a distance. They also target Karim and Hugh Yan Lee. Lee takes a hit to protect Karim, losing part of his arm. Acting quickly, Shinra creates a smokescreen, forcing the assassins to retreat. Afterward, Karim agrees to team up with Company 8 in their investigation of the Evangelist. Because of her role in the situation, Tamaki is suspended by Company 1 and transferred to Akitaru's Company 8, where she begins a new chapter. The company captains are called to the Imperial Throne Room for an emergency conference to discuss the Evangelist. On the way, they pass Amaterasu, the perpetual thermal energy plant that provides the Tokyo Empire with its energy. Raffles III, the Tokyo Imperial Emperor, tells Shinra that he possesses the Adala Burst, a different and pure type of flame. Because of this, the Evangelist is after him. Raffles advises Shinra to stay protected, but Shinra replies that he cannot abandon his duties as a firefighter, as he is entrusted with protecting and saving people. Later, Shinra visits Amaterasu and encounters Joker, who reveals that Shinra's younger brother, Shōbōtai, is alive and working for the Evangelist as the leader of the Knights of the Ashen Flame. Back at Company 8, Akitaru has every firefighter review incident reports in hopes of finding leads that may help them locate the Evangelist. As Tamaki, Shinra, and Arthur mess around and Hibana entertains Maki and Iris with her flames, Hinawa and Akitaru admit that life has become livelier since the new members joined the company. During dinner, Shinra shares the news about Sho with the rest of the team. Meanwhile, deep within the Knights of the Ashen Flame, a sect chants in praise of the Evangelist, with Sho seated at the head of the gathering. Back at Company 8, Hinawa reveals how the unit was formed. 3 years prior, Hinawa was a recruit at the Fire Force Academy. His only friend was Tojo, a kind and gentle fellow recruit who expressed a desire to baptize his gun. Hinawa, however, admitted that he did not share the same faith. One night, Tojo infernalized before Hinawa's eyes. Despite Tojo begging him to act, Hinawa couldn't bring himself to pull the trigger. After Tojo's death, Akitaru requested ownership of Tojo's gun from the master weaponsmith. On a later mission, Hinawa met Akitaru, who was serving as a regular firefighter. They were both shocked when the captain of Company 3 refused to neutralize one of 2 reported infernals, choosing instead to eliminate the one worth more points, and ignoring the value of life. Hinawa and Akitaru disobeyed orders and entered the building. Hinawa respectfully ended the suffering of the infernal using Tojo's gun. This event inspired the two to establish a special fire force company of their own. 2 years later, with the new headquarters complete, Akitaru said it was time to start recruiting. Hinawa recommended the dedicated Maki, who he had met during his academy days. In the Asakusa district, Company 7 operates in a tightly knit community. Commander Benimaru Shinman receives a warning from Captain Konro Sagamiya that Company 8 is on its way, but he ignores it. Company 8 arrives at Company 7's headquarters, angering Benimaru. He insults Shinra, who challenges him to a duel. Before the match can begin, a fire alarm is triggered. A local man named Kantaro has become an infernal. Benimaru, regarded by locals as a hero and the most powerful traditional firefighter, defeats Kantaro with an overwhelming assault using flaming matter. The attack is highly destructive, but the townspeople are jubilant even as their homes burn. An old woman explains to Shinra that the people trust Benimaru completely and would rather die by his hand than at the hands of anyone else. Benimaru finishes Kantaro by thrusting his hand through his chest, leaving Shinra in awe. Company 7 then leads the reconstruction of the district with the help of the local community. Company 8 joins in, helping to rebuild and improving relations between the two companies. Seeing his men getting along with the visitors, Benimaru admits to Konro that he doesn't dislike Company 8. That night, Benimaru witnesses 2 disguised knights impersonating Akitaru and Hinawa as they plot to create more infernals. Fooled by the deception, Benimaru lashes out at the real Akitaru and Hinawa. Despite their protests, he attacks violently. Although he easily defeats Shinra and the others, Akitaru manages to stun him using simple tools and sheer determination. As Akitaru tries to reason with him, Benimaru prepares to unleash his most devastating technique, the Sun Wheel. Konro steps in and stops him, risking his life despite his deteriorating condition. In his quarters, Benimaru hears the full testimony from Company 8. Akitaru and Hinawa explain where they were and what they were doing when the imposters were seen. As Konro recovers, he tells the members of the 8th about his condition. He suffers from tephrosis, a life-threatening affliction that will incinerate his body if he uses his powers again. He developed the condition after pushing his limits to save Benimaru from a powerful infernal in the past. Bringing the episode to an end, comments down below if you want part 2 of this series.